The old antique shop smelled of dust and forgotten memories, a scent I'd always associated with treasure. It was 2 days before Christmas, and the city was a whirlwind of last-minute shoppers and festive chaos. But in here, time seemed to slow down. I was looking for a gift for my grandmother, something unique, something with a story. That's when I saw it, tucked away in a corner, almost hidden behind a stack of old paintings. It was a chair, a simple wooden dining chair, but there was something about it that pulled me in. The wood was dark and worn smooth in places, carved with delicate holly leaves along the backrest. It wasn't grand or ornate, just warm. The shopkeeper, a kindly old man with spectacles perched on his nose, noticed my interest. "Ah, that's a special one," he said, his voice raspy like old paper. "Part of a set once, the last one I have left. The family that owned it called it the Christmas chair." He explained that for generations, this chair was reserved for a guest of honor at the family's Christmas dinner. It wasn't for the head of the household or the eldest member. Instead, it was for someone who needed a place to belong, someone who might otherwise be alone for the holiday. A distant relative, a new friend, a neighbor who had fallen on hard times. The tradition was that whoever sat in the Christmas chair was not just a guest, but family. I was captivated. My grandmother, Nana, had been living with us since my grandfather passed away a few years back. She was the heart of our family, always hosting, always giving. But I knew that sometimes, especially during the holidays, a quiet sadness would creep into her eyes. She missed being the one to welcome everyone into her own home, the one with an open door and an extra seat at the table. This chair wasn't just a piece of furniture. It was a legacy of kindness. It was perfect. I bought the chair and somehow managed to fit it into my small car. When I got it home, I cleaned it carefully, polishing the dark wood until it gleamed softly under the lights. I didn't wrap it. Instead, on Christmas Eve, while Nana was out with my mom, I replaced one of our regular dining chairs with the old one. It looked like it had always been there, nestled among our modern mismatched set. When Nana came home, she didn't notice it at first. We went about our usual Christmas Eve traditions, hanging the last few ornaments, drinking hot cocoa, and sharing stories. But as we started setting the table for the next day's feast, she paused. She ran her hand over the carved holly leaves on the back of the chair. "Where did this come from?" she asked, her voice soft with curiosity. I told her the story the shopkeeper had shared with me. I told her about the Christmas chair and the tradition of welcoming someone who needed a place to belong. I explained that I wanted her to be the first one to sit in it at our table, as the guest of honor, the heart of our family. Tears welled up in her eyes, the happy kind that made them sparkle. She hugged me tightly and whispered, "That's the most beautiful gift I've ever received." On Christmas Day, our home was filled with the familiar, happy noise of family. Aunts, uncles, and cousins all gathered around the table. Before we sat down to eat, my dad tapped his glass for attention. He explained the story of the new addition to our dining set, the Christmas chair, and how Nana was its first honored guest in our home. Everyone applauded, and Nana's face glowed with a light I hadn't seen in a long time. But the story doesn't end there. After we finished our meal, Nana stood up. She looked around the room, her gaze landing on Mr. Henderson, our elderly neighbor from across the street. His wife had passed away earlier that year, and this was his first Christmas alone. We had, of course, invited him over, not wanting him to spend the day by himself. Nana walked over to him. "Henry," she said gently, "I believe the Christmas chair is meant for you this year." Mr. Henderson looked surprised, but he allowed Nana to lead him to the special chair. As he sat down, a genuine smile spread across his face. He wasn't just a neighbor we'd invited out of pity. He was our guest of honor. He was family. In that moment, I understood the true magic of the chair. It wasn't about who owned it or where it came from. It was about the act of giving, of making space, of turning a seat into a symbol of belonging. The tradition of the Christmas chair has continued in our family ever since. Each year, we decide together who will be our guest of honor. One year, it was my cousin's new girlfriend, who was thousands of miles from her own family. Another year, it was a family new to the neighborhood who hadn't had time to make friends yet. The chair itself is just wood and nails, a simple object. but it holds the stories of every person who has ever sat in it. It reminds us that the spirit of Christmas isn't in the gifts we buy or the food we cook. It's in the empty chair we choose to fill. It's in the simple, powerful act of saying, "There is a place for you here." That old wooden chair, the last of its kind from a dusty antique shop, taught my family that the greatest gift you can give is a place at the table. And every Christmas, as we welcome a new person to sit in it, its legacy of kindness and belonging grows stronger. It's a reminder that even when you think you're the last one left, you can be the start of something beautiful. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, consider sharing it with someone who makes you feel at home. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays.